All right, Tim, we're going to be talking about setting up your bank account. Now, I understand that not all banks are created equal.
They aren't. You know, Mitch, one of the biggest comments we get from people is they say, you know what, can we set up our 401k account with our local bank? We're good friends with our local banker, and they've already said they can do it. Well, we really don't like to try because we've done this so many times. Invariably, what's going to happen is that bank is going to say no, and it's going to be too complicated for them. So we can try to work with your local bank, but it's probably not going to work. And we have other bank choices available for people. It's kind of standardized for us at this point.
I know from experience, and I'm glad to see that the bank that I tried is not on here because it was a nightmare.
Yeah.
And they were approved to set up, but they were just cumbersome and bad. I'm glad to see them scratched off this list. The one that I went with is on here. It was Comerica.
Yep.
They've been a pleasure to work with.
So long as you're near a Comerica branch, because you're going to have to walk in there and sign some paperwork. As long as you're near a branch, we love working with Comerica. They're a great bank, and they get this done, and they set up that checking account for your solo 401k.
You need to be close to the bank because on that one day we need to go in and set it up and walk in and set it up. Is that the only time we really need to go?
That's the only time you need to go. On day one, they're going to want to see a picture of your driver's license and for you to sign a form, and that's all you need to do with them.
Okay, so we got some other banks on here. Solera, Comerica, Schwab, TD Ameritrade. Oh, what's the differences, or are you just letting people know?
We're just letting people know. It's just about convenience. Solera, if somebody's not near a Comerica, we're typically going to set them up with Solera, and that's a bank in Colorado, but they have a specialized system that specializes in these self-directed retirement plan accounts. So they're a good bank to work with. Then we have Comerica. If you live near Comerica, we're typically going to use Comerica for you. If you also want to be able to trade stocks and bonds, securities, things of that nature, we're probably going to set up the checking account with Schwab or with TD Ameritrade. So even though you are investing in real estate, you can still have the option of doing the traditional investments as well.
Well, some places that's a real good fit.
Yeah.
Okay, so that would be Schwab and TD Ameritrade. What about the role of the bank? What is the role of the bank?
Here's super important point here. Super important here, and this kind of goes to whenever we're going to talk about rollovers. A lot of people think that the bank is the sponsor, is the person providing the retirement plan. They're not. They're just a checking account. They can't tell you what you can or can't do with your money. If you use the checking account with Schwab, they don't report anything to the IRS. You report everything. You're in charge of everything. They can't tell you what you can or can't do with the money.
They're just a place to house your money.
They're just a place to house your money. That's it.
Checking account or whatever.
Yeah. Okay. And the way the process works is whenever you submit your order with us and we set up the 401k account, we also contact the bank, prearrange things for you, fill out the forms. So you just fill it out, and the bank's probably going to ask you one or two questions, and then you're good to go. So we make it as simple as possible for you to set up these checking accounts.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to go out and try this by yourself. It's a little more complicated than you might imagine. So
yeah,
they've already done the legwork for you with these banks.
Yep.
All right, so we're off to segment 9, and we'll be talking about the various sub-accounts in the 401k.